here reporting live from South by Southwest. So with all of the medical advances we've seen, people are living longer. And here to talk about how we can make technology accessible to the aging demographic is IBM's global research leader, Susanne Keohane.
Yes.
From IBM. How's it going?
It's going fabulous. I love South by Southwest. It's so much fun.
It is a lot of fun. Well, thank you so much for joining us. So as the Aging Initiative leader here for IBM, how is the company making tech accessible for this aging demographic?
Well, a lot of people might first ask the question, why is IBM interested in aging? And if you think of IBM, we're a global company. Our research centers are in 12 different countries, just our research centers. And so the global demographic is upon us. In Japan, 1 in every 4 people are over 65. In China, there's 120 million people today, approximately over 65. They had a one-child policy. So if you look at this demographic and you say, how are we going to care for this aging boom?
Right.
Yeah, so we're looking at emerging technologies, you know, a lot of consumer grade. How can we start to get a heartbeat of what is going on in someone's home to begin to model their daily activities of living to know when they are struggling? And, you know, we don't want to take anyone's independence away. The actual goal of the project is to enable people to live in their homes longer. And I think we can do it. I think we can potentially keep them in their homes safer longer.
So what in particular is IBM doing? Any sort of dashboards, or what kind of actual products are you guys coming up with to address some of these needs?
Yeah, so I'm on the research arm. So we're really trying to understand and model these daily habits of living. And I'll give you an example. In Bolzano, Italy, we put a CO2 sensor in a kitchen. And when you turn on appliances, the CO2 would spike. And with that one sensor, we were able to work with the social services who visit their elders in Italy. And they could look and say, this elder is not going about their normal pattern, because the CO2 spikes, what we found after a week or two, was a spike right around breakfast, lunch, and dinner were all unique. So everyone eats at different times, so the spike was different for every individual. So learning if someone was going about their normal pattern of living, then you knew they were okay. But if someone wasn't, those are the ones you want to visit first. So that's kind of what we're doing. We're modeling this data and trying to get context around how someone, again, is managing aging in place.
All right, so you're also working on adaptive interfaces, correct?
Yes.
What exactly does that mean, and how can that be applied to this aging group, which may be different than if you were targeting a younger person? Yeah,
so what's interesting, a lot of technology is always focused on millennials because they're first adopters of a lot of technology. But if you, like I said, if you look at the demographic shift that is happening, more and more of percentage of our population is going to be this older demographic. So how do you begin to design technology that they can use? And technology they didn't grow up with, right? So my father isn't a real adopter of a cell phone, but my mother is. So everyone is unique. So when you talk about adaptive interfaces, I work in accessibility for the last 10 years, and that's making technology accessible to people with disabilities. So if you think of aging, that's a change of ability over time. So how do you know when someone needs to potentially have the interface change to higher contrast so they can see things better? Maybe scale down the complexity of the interface so they can get to what they need and what they use most often. So instead of throwing everything at them, you're giving them a better user experience.
Right, making it intuitive.
Intuitive for them. And that's a key for all users, especially the aging demographic.
So we talked about the increasing population globally of this group. So how big of a market do you expect these IBM tools to become, and how quickly can it be implemented?
Well, I mean, that's always the great question. I'm in research, so my goal is to hand this over to product teams to commercialize. And I can't tell you how fast we'll move, but I know we want to move fast. And the idea of keeping someone in their home longer has a tremendous amount of savings. First, most people want to stay in their home longer. 90% of people surveyed want to age in place. Their family wants to keep them safely aging in place. And if you can keep someone in essentially that wherever level of care they're at, every transition higher level of care is exponential in cost. So if the person can't pay for it, their family can't pay for it, society, we protect the most frail. It's our responsibility. So if you move someone out of their home too soon, then you're taking away independence and you have a higher level of cost. If you wait too long, something could happen. So the idea of our technology is trying to really assess when is that right time for that vital life decision. Because these are often once in a lifetime decisions, moving out of your home, losing the ability to drive. I mean, this is really important, and we're all gonna age. So
that's right.
If you're not caring about your elder loved one, it's kind of a little bit selfishly building our future.
That's right. It's definitely going to creep into all of our lives as technology becomes more ever-present, everywhere
ubiquitous.
We are.
And right now we're taking analog homes and making them digital, but every new appliance we bring in is going to be more connected. Our homes are going to become these connected smart homes over time. So if we can solve this now, it's going to be upon us. Technology is ubiquitous. It's just going to be integrated into our daily lives. It already is for a lot of us, early adopters of tech, but eventually for everyone too.
That it is. All right. Well, thank you so much, Susanne, for your time. And make sure to check out full coverage at investors.com/South by Southwest. We'll see you later today with more updates.